the 76ers are going to try and replace James Harden with Fred VanVleet. Now, why is that? Well, the thing is, I think James Harden opted out of his player option, and there have been also a bunch of rumors that James Harden will not remain with the 76ers. He is looking to go maybe to Houston, or he's not going to remain with the Sixers as it is right now, and they are going to look to replace a guard like him. Now, what the Toronto Raptors could get back, I don't know. I don't know what 76ers are going to give them unless it's really good draft capital, but that just goes to show you that the Toronto Raptors have 3 really good pieces that if they were to offload, they could get a lot back and build around Scottie Barnes. And that's the way it should go. Pascal Siakam, I know there's a lot of people in the Toronto Raptors fan base that love Pascal Siakam, and I get it. But I've been saying this for almost 2 years now. Pascal Siakam has hit a ceiling. This is the best it's ever going to get for Pascal Siakam. This is it. Like, he's plateaued as a player, right? And in order for the Toronto Raptors to go further, in order for them to go the distance and actually compete for championship, they need someone better than Pascal Siakam. He's not that guy. Now, a lot of Toronto Raptors fans love him, but a lot of Toronto Raptors fans also love DeMar DeRozan, and he got moved, and look what happened to the Toronto Raptors after they moved him. They won a championship. Sometimes you have to take big swings. Sometimes you have to take giant leaps of faith. And you have to go out of your comfort zone. And this is what it is. A lot of Toronto Raptors fans are comfortable with the players that they have right now. They're comfortable with Fred VanVleet, with Pascal Siakam, with Gary Trent Jr. But in order to grow, you have to go out of your comfort zone, and you have to consider moving off of those guys. I also saw a trade that was proposed that the Toronto Raptors could also trade OG Anunoby for the 10th overall pick. I'm forgetting right off the top of my head who has that pick, but that was a trade that I did see. So if you were to really commit to Scottie Barnes being the focal point of this team that you want to build around, and not expecting to win right away, and expecting to win maybe 3-4 years down the line, like do what the OKC Thunder are doing right now, they are building a super team. They are building a really good team. Then getting rid of OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Fred VanVleet, and rebuilding would be the way to go. And I think it's the way to go. Teams that are rebuilding right now, like the Orlando Magic and the OKC Thunder, in just a few years, they're going to really start hitting their stride. And the Toronto Raptors could be in the same boat if they start right now. And Toronto Raptors fans have to kind of detach from these players, right? Like, I know you love them, but they're not yielding the results that we want. And if we're going to be mediocre, I'd rather we be crappy now and get and fix and build around Scottie Barnes and be really good in the future, instead of just being mediocre year after year. Now, this is also going to play a role in the type of coach that the Toronto Raptors go out and get. If they do make a trade before the draft, right, the type of coach that they're going to get has to be a coach that can coach young talent. It can't be another coach like Nick Nurse who can coach superstars like Kawhi Leonard and Joel Embiid. It has to be a guy that understands young players, that knows how to build. Ideally, I really wanted Ime Udoka. What he did with the Boston Celtics core, I would love if he was able to do that with the Toronto Raptors, but he's been taken up. We have to go out and get a coach that is able to nurture young talent, and we have to, and by we I mean the Toronto Raptors, we have to build around Scottie Barnes. He is our future. If you go out and you get Scoot Henderson and you pair him up with Scottie Barnes, you have 2 young players on your hand now. If you do trade OG Anunoby and get the 10th pick, you now have a 10th pick. That's 3 young players, right? If you move off of Fred VanVleet eventually and you give him up to the Philadelphia 76ers, who knows what you can get for him in the next year's draft? Hey, maybe even Bronny James Jr. I'm just saying. The possibilities are endless if you are just able to detach yourself from these players. But yes, guys, those are just my thoughts on the Toronto Raptors right now. If you like this kind of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like underneath this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Until next time, kids.